Wouldn't it be an amazing feeling to wake up at the end of the week, check your brokerage, and you've gotten paid your weekly dividends? That would be absolutely amazing, especially if you made enough to where you didn't have to work a 9 to 5 anymore and you could retire. That is a long-term goal for a lot of investors that are interested in weekly dividend ETFs. Now, there's a few caveats to that, depending on how much money you have, depending on how high of yield each of these ETFs are, weigh in heavily on when you'll be able to do that, or just the amount of money we're going to make off these weekly dividends. So in this video, we're going to cover two of the new YieldBoost ETFs. They're by GraniteShares, and these are very high yielding ETFs. Massive, really, and they pay weekly dividends. But with that, there's some pros and some cons that we have to factor in if we're thinking about how we're going to make money and buy and hold these ETFs. The main question a lot of investors ask when it comes to weekly dividends is, do they have NAV erosion? And NAV erosion is when they're paying out too high of a yield over time, and the overall options and growth of the underlying cannot support the distributions, meaning all in all, you're losing money on your initial investment while getting paid high yields. You can see an example popping up on your screen right now. And so what we're trying to do, or at least what I'm trying to do, is avoid this phenomenon because it seems to be extremely popular in the high yield space. Will these new YieldBoost ETFs have NAV erosion? Only time will tell. But to really understand what's going into these, we have to take a look at the GraniteShares website. So what is a fund of funds and why is it important to us, to weekly dividend investors? Well, for a number of reasons. First and foremost, you get more diversification. We've seen fund of funds come out from YMAX, from Roundhill, and I guarantee we're going to see more from some of the other big names in the income space very, very soon. What we can see here is that we have AMD, AMZN, we have BABA. All of these are single stock underlying income ETFs, meaning you have a lot of volatility depending on what the underlying is doing. And because GraniteShares is utilizing a 2x leveraged underlying to get that insanely high yield, you're even more at risk if something goes really poorly or really well. So what the fund of fund does, it mitigates a little bit of that risk. They mostly have single stock ETFs here, but as we slide down, we can actually see there's now their single stock universe ETF and their top yielders ETF. So we're going to take a look at their single stock universe, their fund of funds, and see what the holdings are, and then we'll see exactly how they've been performing. YBST. The GraniteShares YieldBoost Single Stock Universe ETF. And I want to also say, I'm sorry, my posting has been sporadic. We were in Costa Rica with Quantify Chaos. They took us there, a research kind of firm. It was absolutely phenomenal, very interesting. I learned more at that conference than I think I have at any conference so far. So it was just absolutely amazing. And we got back. So I did a lot of interviews. We have one more really big interview coming up that I think you guys are going to want to see. It involves, I won't say who, some weekly dividends, all types of dividends, really. So I'm excited for that, and I hope you guys are too. But we're going to get back into our schedule. Now, one other thing I'm thinking about doing for 2026 is buying every single one of the fund of funds and making updated videos showcasing their performance. I think that'd be really cool. You could do it like as a monthly thing. Let me know what you guys think about that if you're interested in these funds of funds. It's hard to say that 10 times fast, but we'll get back into the video. Now, there are pros and cons with GraniteShares. Like I said, the fact that the underlying is leveraged means you're risky. You have a lot more risk to it. And the reward works at certain points. It really depends on the underlying. A lot of these these single stock ETFs are going to depend on the underlying. So we're going to go straight to the holdings, because if you believe in the holdings, then this one should do pretty solid. So in this grouping, we have Meta, we have QBTS, Tesla, IONQ, Hood, Amazon, RGTI, Riot, Coin, BABA, MSTR, NVIDIA, Mara, PLTR, SMCI, HIMS, HIMS, and AMD. Now, I'm more familiar with some of these than others. Some are new. Some have been around for quite a while. I think their first one was on NVIDIA, or one of their first ones was on NVIDIA back when it paid monthly. So we do have quite a good grouping of these. I do think that of the top 5, Meta, QBST, Tesla, IONQ, and Hood, they're all aggressive. Meta probably being one of the safer ones. The rest, these are pretty aggressive. We've seen Hood go absolutely nuts over the last couple of months to almost a year now. So it's definitely going to be risky, but less risky than simply holding each one individually. At least that's my opinion on it. To really understand this though, let's take a look at how these top 5 have performed since they launched. Now, these 5, there is a chance these are some of the better performing ones, at least in the recent couple of weeks, because they're a larger proportion of the fund. So maybe since they've purchased, these ones have gone up in value, meaning they're a higher percentage. I'm guessing they wanted them all pretty equally weighted. Now, we know that TSYY, their Tesla fund, has been out the longest. And some of these can look a little bit frightening, right? We have seen TSYY fall 74%, meaning if you invested $100,000 into this, you would have $26,000 of your initial principal back. But we are missing out on a key factor with these, and that is the dividends. You have to factor in total return when it comes to these. And after seeing that, it actually is pretty impressive what we saw TSYY do. Now, it did fall off a cliff. This was at the time when Tesla was underperforming. It was tanking like mad. But since that point, it went from being down 33, 36% to being nearly positive. So you could have swung this for a 20, 30% return, and then it fell off again simply because of Tesla. Now, all of these, again, trading at different times, none really stand out as being the best performer. A lot of them are still really new. QBY is very new. IOYY, very new. FBYY is still very new as well. HOYY is also pretty new, launching in October. So we haven't had a lot of time to really see how these have been performing. And while that's a little bit disappointing, it'll be interesting to see how the fund of fund performs. I'm sure what's going to happen is we're going to see a lot of funds underperform, and then we're going to see some that do extremely well that kind of lift it up. That's what we've seen with a lot of the other funds of funds, at least. But also, a massive metric when it comes to these ETFs is, what's the market going to do? Because no matter what, even if Robinhood does really well, if the overall market is down, you're probably going to see the fund of funds drop because most of them are going to be going into the red, even with the distributions. So all in all, it's interesting seeing how these work, but there's one more new ETF by YieldBoost we need to take a look at. The Top Yielders ETF. This is going to be the top yielding ETFs by the YieldBoost series, and it could be very interesting. I'm curious how this one stacks up to their fund of funds. It's going to be more risky, I'm guessing. It probably will have a lot more NAV erosion, as these higher yielders can really factor in with a lot of NAV erosion, unfortunately. But will it hold up and make it overall solid investment? And I want to state that these funds are not for everybody. It really depends on your investment strategy. If you're a long-term, more growth-focused investor, these are not really for you. If you're an investor that's trying to live off of distributions currently and you don't have nearly enough money to do it, you're trying to find a way to make it work, then these can give you some of your money back in that sense, but they're still pretty tricky. You have to time it pretty correctly. Otherwise, we just see some drops. Now, the top 5 holdings in here are their Tesla ETF, IONQ, Hood, Coin, and SMCI. Now, looking at this page, there's a lot of info on here. We can see the value, how much shares they have of each, and the allocation, but we really need to look at how these 5 have performed. So for that, we're going to jump back into Seeking Alpha. We have a lot of the same names. So we dropped a couple and we gained the COYY ETF and the SMYY, which is Coinbase and SMCI. Now, scrolling down, we can see our price return has been kind of as expected, I guess. I mean, we still have TSYY lasting the longest, and then the second is COYY, but both have taken some pretty steady losses. But again, factoring in total return, it's a different story. TSYY, if you were doing swings at the right time, could do well. COYY has been awful. But in the defense of these funds, Coinbase stock is down like 50 or 60%. So this thing is actually probably doing better than just holding Coinbase stock at this time. The rest have been kind of meh. I'm guessing HOYY has been doing this way, not great, simply because Hood is pulled back. IOYY, SMYY. It would be interesting to compare these to some of the underlyings actually and seeing what market these are performing best in. IOYY has been holding up the best, but it's still down 6.6%. So this top yielders ETF, it could make some pretty massive distributions and give you a little bit of safety when it comes to investing in single stock underlyings. But we do want to see some very good and consistent dividends and maybe even some way to hold up the NAV a little bit, because the NAV does take a hit. Again, depends on the underlying and it depends on the overall performance of the market. Now, what I need from you is to tell me, which of these would you buy? Are you interested in either of them? There's a huge fan base for TSYY, for COYY, for HOYY. And I'm curious if any of you that own these single stock underlyings would buy the funds of funds, because they do give a little more diversification and maybe even a little more security. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, check out these popping up on your screen right now. And don't forget to like and subscribe.